Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. If you know me well, or if you follow me, you might know that one of my favorite things is butterflies. I love butterflies so much, and I do have a folder full of butterfly ephemera, and I finally have enough to do a butterfly themed journal. And I know these are very popular. I'm only able to do about one a year, but I got this beautiful plate. It is a 95-year-old plate, and it is actually from this book, and it is our Wonder World series that has the most gorgeous plates in it, but this one is pretty spectacular. And I've added some really pretty ribbons that match the colors of the butterflies, and these are all vintage beads that I made a little bangle out of down the side. I love the embossed cover and the leathery looking back. It's all intact, and I'm going to take on a little journey of this before I throw it in my Etsy shop. So let's take a look. Everything inside is authentic, antique, and vintage butterfly themed ephemera. Crazy, right? So these are two plates as well from this book, and I just thought they were beautiful first pages. Look at this butterfly. I've actually never seen one like this. It's a Camilla butterfly. And then over here is the life history of a butterfly. These are all from 1930, by the way. So again, 95 years old. This is a 1940s Laura Wheeler transfer that you would do maybe on a tea towel or a pillowcase. I think in this case, likely a little bathroom towel, and a little dog looking at a butterfly. And then this here, it's not a butterfly, but you can see it is butterfly weed. So it counts. And it's got sunflowers on the back. I get a lot of requests for sunflowers, actually. So that's a fun little pocket. Over here we have, this came out of a little children's book. And I love that there's butterflies on both sides, so I didn't cover anything up with paper, which I do sometimes for extra journaling space. This is from the 1920s Child's Garden of Verses book. We've got this beautiful butterfly here landing on the flower, and then a really cute little story poem on the other side. Now this here is from the 1880s, and even though it's torn and in kind of tattered shape, I still wanted it in here because it's got this negative image, which has the black background and then the white, or in this case, faded white butterfly image here, and this bird over here. I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. And then that is mounted on top of this. You'll see the opposite side of this here. That is a beautiful botanical. And then this came from a vintage book, The Butterfly That's Stamped, which is funny because I did a lot of stamping in here. This one being one of them. This is from an antique book as well, on a chapter that is called Butterfly. So that was pretty fun. And then this here is from 1920 as well, another children's book, and you can see that the little doll and balloon are up near the butterfly there. This is from early 1900s book on nature, the study of nature, and it's got the moths here. And then look at this sweetie here. This is from the 50s, a little children's book, but on this side, it's got the little girl with the two little yellow butterflies here. So I think that's just adorable. And then over here, we've got this beautiful butterfly here on top of the flowers that they tend to like. This here is vintage fabric. And the way I know that is it came out of a pattern pouch from all my vintage patterns. And I guess somebody was using it because you can see the, what do you call that? Oh man, the triangle scissors. I have a bunch of them. Anyways, yes, so I knew it was being made into, I think, a blouse. It was in a blouse pattern. Pretty cool, right? And then this is another page from yet another book on nature. I used about 15 different books in here for these plates and images. There's a beautiful cocoon and a monarch down here. Everybody knows that that's a monarch caterpillar. And then this is the original first page of this book, Our Wonder World. And there's the publication date there, 1930. And look at this, up one pair of stairs from 1927. Look at that gorgeous moth there. That's beautiful. And did you know that butterflies and moths have these circles to trick other animals into thinking they're eyes? Isn't that cool? I know a little bit about two things. And it wouldn't be a butterfly or a nature journal without an Edith Holden. So this is over 50 years old here, and it's one of the few that had butterflies. So I've been saving it for this journal. And then here's another one of these great butterfly pages with lots of journaling space. So isn't that precious? Oh my gosh, I just love Edith Holden. And then a nice little, her piece on June there. This is just a piece of antique paper that you can journal on. There's another butterfly that I stamped on there. That's a swallowtail. And this is fabulous, a butterfly doily. Look at that. I have not found one of these doilies. If I ever do, I'll have like a small heart attack. I'll be so excited. Look at them. But I just think that it's so colorful and so perfect, and that's from the 1950s. It's just a little waterfall journaling space here. Put a little butterfly there from antique paper. And here's another 1920s or earlier. Is this the nature? Oh yeah, so early 1900s. Handbook of Nature Study. There's another monarch. People have always been fascinated with monarchs, it seems. And here's a little children's book page from the 20s again. Two little children finding the caterpillar. And just a lovely bird page there. And look at this one here from 1904. Look at that beautiful image there of butterflies. And another one here. I love it. I love it so much. This one is from the 1890s. This here's a little flower that I actually found in a book, and you can tell, look how old that is. It's almost see-through. It's just precious. I didn't want to glue it down because I didn't know if it would survive or fall apart, so I left it in its plastic, and there's a little vintage, actually an antique stamp there. That's pretty cool. You can use to decorate the rest of the journal if you like. And look at this, another early 1900s, and I love that you can see the staining on here, the natural decoloration from a plate that was on the other side of the book. But isn't that gorgeous? And then this is from a fun little 1960s children's book, ABC book, N is for net. Chipmunk catches butterflies in his net. This, I have to give you a close-up look at this, is from a 1927 catalog, and it's got butterfly pattern. Is that beautiful for a linen centerpiece? It's amazing how I see all these. Oh, this is so cool. So this fell out of a book. To me, it's either 1940s or 1950s. It's got a bit of gold on it from somebody hand painted some gold on there. And it was either stationery or a greeting card that they often would cut out parts of a greeting card and reuse them. And I just think it is stunning. I love it. And then this is a piece of cross stitch here. And the reason I did this piece is because it's the sky. And of course, butterflies, skies go together. And look at this beautiful piece here. Again, early 1900s, really heavy, beautiful paper there. And it's on the butterfly, of course. And on the opposite side is another plate. Has nothing to do with butterflies, but it's just on the other side. But it's gorgeous. Look at this beautiful harbor, all the boats. It's beautiful, almost an eggplant color. Another butterfly stamp up here, different kind. And this here is called a butterfly bow pattern. And I think it is absolutely exquisite. And I have not seen that one, but you will see one that I have, a butterfly pattern. It has been done with crochet. This is just an antique transit ticket that I think is fun. Have to have tickets in there. And this is from the Audubon Animals and Birds book. It's vintage as well, and we've got some butterflies here. So that's kind of cool. And also not butterfly themed, but I just had to get a little bit more nature in here. So this is from this book here, The Tale of Squirrel Nutkins, and it is from the 30s. And then here is that beautiful Edith Holden book that I was telling you about. That's really quite old. And more hand-punched butterflies. This is really cool from 1925, Things to Make and Do, and how to make a butterfly using a spool. And you can blow out the spool and make the butterfly pop off. I actually want to try that. It looks really fun. There's some vintage trim on there. And The Soul of a Butterfly, beautiful poem here. I think you'll love reading that. And more crochet here from the 50s. Little piece here I pulled out of an antique book. And look at this. This is that piece I was telling you about. Look at that, handmade. It's almost like a lace applique, but it's just beautiful. And that, of course, is, you guessed it, a butterfly. This is from 1959, a little collector series for children. They would have cut this out and pasted it into the correct part of the book. Isn't that great? And then this is from 1955 down here from a stamp collector's page. And I love it. I just think that's so wonderful. More butterflies. This is, oh my gosh, I want to say from the 30s here, more monarchs. And I put another hand-stamped monarch down here and more monarchs. And people are just fascinated with monarchs. This, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how old this is. It's over 40, but I don't think it's over 50. I believe it is from the 80s. And yeah, just a really pretty card. So you can reuse that if you like. And this is just a really cool 1938 set of stamps here with the mountains. I just thought it was beautiful. There we go. And there on this pocket, you have to find all the little butterflies. These little teeny tiny butterflies here. And that's from the early 1900s. Another butterfly page here from the early 1900s. That's from the 1930s, butterfly and a kite. And then this is just a great 1950s or 60s pattern here. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Look at those butterflies. And then this is from an Easter book, actually, a vintage Easter book, but it's on the butterfly. And this is from 1937. It took me a while to, I didn't believe it because it was so glossy and in such good condition, but it is actually a 1937 postcard. I love it. So the new owner gets to enjoy that. And the reason I picked this is because I thought it was beautiful scenery. And of course, out in the beautiful forests, you have tons and tons of, yes, butterflies and moths. And this is a vintage campfire song book about moths. And then that is the last page. Now I also want to add, I hoard these because they're so precious to me. But this is an antique box of library plates, you know, from the library of, and somebody would put their name in there and put some paste on the back and stick it inside their book. So I'm just going to slip that into the pocket there. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. This is a real special one. Hyperstamper.etsy.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.